I finished school. I went and did what is commonly known as a diploma of administration now here, but I just thought as a secretarial course because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I went and did law because my brother's a lawyer, and my mom said, no, don't become a teacher, which is actually what I wanted to become, because lawyers, you know, they make more money. And I'm going, yeah, but I don't really like law. But anyway, besides that, and I got to my third year and was halfway through and hit a bit of a financial constraint situation. So I didn't finish my degree, and it was always with the intention, or I'll come back and finish this, because, you know, it was like just not even a year that I still needed to do. Then life happened, as it does, because despite our best intention, things happen and you move on and you do things. So from that, I'm obviously an immigrant to Australia, so I got married, and my husband and I decided to explore opportunities in Australia for work, and we came over. And for probably about 12 or 15 years, I was moving between states. So we started in Bunbury in West Australia, then we moved to Perth, then we moved to Sydney, and then we moved to Melbourne. So my husband would go to work in the morning from one house and rock up at night to another house, bed made, you know. So if people say to me, what did I do? I say I was the general manager of Rousseau Incorporated, because if he wasn't at work, the rest of everything fell to me. So 13 years from now, I think we'll be looking at a completely different education system. In terms of students actually having to be in a classroom all day, I think that notion would be outdated. I think robotics will be, in some way or another, will be incorporated into their daily life. So whether it's having a NAO here as a personal teaching assistant, helping you, assessing you, going, you don't know your work that well here, or an Amy here helping a teacher with kids with special needs or something. I think these robots are going to be integrated in our education system. I think there's going to be major disruption. I think the adoption of robotics and automation in industries such as the professionals, especially where you're doing, if it's rule-based work that you're doing, robots can do that. So our adoption rate in Australia is going to be very interesting, because the rest of the world is happening very quickly. And I think there's going to be major disruption. I think we're going to have to create new jobs, and we're going to have to start focusing on skills such as critical thinking, empathy, you know, these human emotions or human skills that we don't worry too much about. Those are going to be paramount, because those are the skills that robots don't have. They're not entrepreneurs, they're not curious, they don't think outside of the box. So, yep, again, I think there's going to be massive disruption there. I think empathy in a work situation, I can extrapolate from that we need to collaborate with each other. Like, those are definitely the, I think I was reading there's a stat about the skills that you've got now, and in 2020, critical thinking, collaboration, those are going to be the top skills that you need. Empathy in workplace, I think a good example of that, the disruption that's going to come for us in the workplace to recognize that people will have to be upskilling into new jobs. So if a robot is coming in to take your place, if I could call it, you're utilizing robotics in your business to augment it and free up another human being, or free up a human being to do what they're actually meant to be doing. So what I think one of our roles in life is, it's our collaboration, it's our working with other people. And when you get bogged down in jobs that you don't actually like doing, not only do you get frustrated and irritated, but any sort of feeling of, listen, I see you, I understand what you're going through, I'm here to help you in your life, that flies out the window, and it's all about me and my survival. So yes, Naya, I can hear you talking there. I think those are going to become very, very important skills for our kids. And I think that flows through into the education system again. What Finland are doing, they've got remarkably competent people that come out of the education system because they think out of the side of the box. They can apply real life situations, problems, and go, I can handle this, I can think of it. It's not rote learning that we're sort of covering a little bit in our education system at the moment. Look, that's a little bit of a double-edged sword because they can't do it on their own. Our education system in Australia needs to support the kids. So you would be hoping that the career advisors at school, they've got their eye on technology, what's happening, people teaching, STEM teachers, where we know we're sadly lacking a bit of focus again in Australia, like we're lagging a little bit there. Victorian government's making an enormous effort to get it and spending money in that area. If I was a parent of a 15-year-old, I'd be looking outside of the school system to see what's to support the children there. Whether it's coding, and I'm not saying that's the be-all and end-all, but it's certainly a skill to have. If your school's not offering it, that's something you need to be looking at. And just generally an awareness of what's happening technology-wise, that robots such as the Neo and the Amy here, these are going to be commonplace. In 10 years now, I don't see you going into a shopping centre and one of these robots not being there in some way interacting with you. So I'd go back even further and go, it's our little ones that we need to be, they need to be socialised with these robots, that they're comfortable with them, that they go, oh, that's nothing, like I'm used to this. If you look at our technology today anyway, there's not a child that's not born, I call them, they're connected to their iPads, because it's a whole new generation that's coming into the school. So I'd say even now, 15-year-olds, they're pretty smart technology-wise. Super exciting times, but I think it's a whole ecosystem of supporting these kids. Parents, educators, universities, it's up and down flow effect. Well, day in your life is you're going to wake up with a robot in your home. You're going to have a social integrated robot that can come up to your bed and say, hey Nicci, it's 6:15, you've got an appointment at 8 o'clock with Scott, you need to move. Traffic is it's light to midday, you want to stop and get your coffee. Another reminder for you is you've got a dentist appointment. This technology this is already going to be part of your daily living. The robots coming out now on the market between now and next year, they super smart. We've already got Google Home that you can ask interactive questions and it can give you information. The next lot of robots that are coming out, social robots in particular, they have got super capabilities. So you'll be conversing with them, you'll get to the office, you could potentially have an Amy here greet you at the door, say good morning, who you here to see, nice to see you, voice recognition, face recognition, hi Nicci, nice to see you at the office, someone's waiting for you already. So I see the robots augmenting our lives. They're there to help you. I can see some resistance to this, but I think it's there. Like, the technology is, and it's only evolving, and it's doing so at a rapid pace. Look, this is your design platform, so you've got people that have got strengths in, say, as you mentioned, engineering or creative, or they've got some mathematical issue that they're having to solve. But for people with other skills, you still need marketers, you still need people that can sell, you still need creative people to get a concept out there. So I think there's enough scope for everyone. I don't see the whole robotics taking over every single field. Robots aren't creative. Like, there's a limit to what they can do. I can't see someone, although having said that, robots can actually draw pictures, but the creativity, the imagination comes from human beings. So for people with artistic bents and a different, so we call it STEAM as opposed to STEM. So it's science, technology, robots, arts, robots, engineering, arts and maths. So I mean, like, that's just what we've decided to call it here, just because we're in the robotics, but we definitely think there's a place for people with artistic capabilities.